hard not only to stand out like in New York, which is a state has a million things going on, but then it's also hard to stand out when you're one of many schools in a system that's well known.
Okay, so we're here to talk about Baruch College. They are a really strong institution, part of the CUNY system, located in Manhattan, New York City. So to really understand the situation, the opportunity, we endeavored on a really robust, comprehensive qual and quant research study.
Can we put out a story that is about Baruch versus Baruch as part of the CUNY system?
When we worked with them, they each had really kind of strong, talented teams within each college, but they really kind of siloed. And so I think they were kind of doing their own thing. And so how could we help make sure they felt like one Baruch, instead of Zikling always being the darling that everyone heard of, other schools like Weissman and Marks could come forward with that kind of equal platform to kind of work off of.
A couple of things that really started to rise above, and the first of which was the idea of Baruch as an ambition accelerator. The other thing that came out of that, I think too, was Baruch is this epicenter, that it is patched into the economy and the landscape and the cultural scene. And then some of the supplemental ideas that came out of this is this encouragement and support that happens there as well.
Yeah, I think like that sense of community that was rich and diverse was really clear. That was that area that provided support, provided that guidance and networking. I think that was part of it too, because you have this great kind of collaborative model. You're building that network. I think another thing that we did differently that wasn't specific within research, but it was part of our immersion, was we weren't asked to do it. We just did it. We sent our photographer, Tommy, and we sent him to New York City and have him kind of roam around and take pictures, meet students, and really capture the authentic streets and locale. So, we got this great shot of two students playing ping pong in a nearby park. It's those moments that didn't feel like tourists, it felt like ground level. That helped us understand like this is truly the authentic representation of Baruch's corner of the city, and this is the true student life experience. These groups, these students, everything. I think being able to meet them, getting those shots really helped us understand their location, but also we were able to use those assets in our creative concepting to make sure it felt really real and authentic, seeing their students versus stock photography. Right?
I think the core of the language, at any rate, was that what happens at Baruch doesn't stop because you never stop. Here, all you'll do is go. And so there's kind of that starter's pistol that's really like launching you out into your life and your career, where you're getting the benefits of going to school in this economic epicenter that's connected to New York City and everything that's there, and also to keep that encouragement going by language is saying you're going to be unstoppable, you're going to be unbeatable, you're going to do things that are unconventional. So using this negative language in a way that was only sort of galvanizing, what they were doing and encouraging them to take those next steps.
I think we wanted the visuals to be confident and momentous. And so to do that, we really kind of focused in on a stripped back toolkit, making sure that the color palettes really led with their core blue, with some secondary colors that supported, but really is the typography and rippling graphic elements that really are the core elements of that visual system. By allowing these really punchy headlines and powerful statements to just kind of come to life, regardless if it's print or digital, with these ripples, it drew your eye in compositionally, it creates movement. But what we loved about it is like that more condensed typeface create height. And I think that is, yes, it's New York City, there's tall buildings, but I think there's we stand taller, because we have this confidence. Baruch did a really good job of bringing folks in to understand what that new toolkit was. It was really great to see Zikling, Weissman, and Marks all at the same table to really kind of see how do we all benefit from this without losing our own individual identity.
So often when we're working with clients, what they don't necessarily articulate, but I think are secretly hoping for, what's our one great line? What's our sentence that we'll be putting on everything? By taking the building blocks from the strategy, like Baruch as the epicenter, Baruch as an engine, Baruch supports and encourages, how can we take those and talk about them through the filter of this new brand? They've got kind of a built-in way to talk about it that feels authentically Baruch, it feels inherently New York City, and it feels like they're able to say the things that they say in a way that no one else does.